Within JobTread, when you're looking at your vendor directory, you have the ability to customize your view. We're going to start off by clicking that gear icon. Once we click into that, there's going to be a side drawer that appears. And here we have 4 tabs: Details, Fields, Sort, and Filters, all of which can help us customize the view. First up, let's talk about fields. Fields are just telling us which columns are turned on and off and what order they're in when we're looking at this view. These fields come from information about the vendors, and they can also include your custom fields that you have set up at the vendor account and vendor contact level. If I want to go ahead and start creating a view in order to look at my vendors grouped by specialty and their rating, I'm able to do so. So first up, I want to be sure that both of those fields are turned on. I have my specialties turned on and I have my rating turned on, but maybe I want to bring them closer together. I'll use this double-sided arrow to drag and drop where the fields are in the view. So I'm going to bring up ratings under specialties. You won't see a change right away because first you're going to have to click apply. Apply is at the bottom left of this side drawer. Well, now, once I click apply, you're able to see that the column of rating has been moved to specialties just like I wanted. Next up, in sort, you're going to be able to sort in ascending or descending order any field that you want in this view. For instance, let's look at that custom field of rating. I'm going to delete name, and then with rating, once we click apply, we can view this in ascending, or if I click the other side of the arrow, in descending order. Finally, we have filters. Over in filters, you can include and exclude certain vendors by using the and or filters. So if I only want to look at my vendors who have the correct paperwork, I can use filters to exclude vendors whose COI is expired or if they don't have a W-9. I'm going to click plus filter and then pull up that first field. I'm going to pull up W-9 at first. And so this W-9, I'm going to say is yes. I only want to look at my vendors who have a W-9. Then I get to choose and or. And means both. And if you choose and, you're only going to look at your vendors who have both of the filters applied to them. If you choose or, that means either. So if you choose or, you're only looking at vendors who have either of the filters applied to you. I want to be sure that these vendors have both a W-9 and a correct COI. So I'm going to choose the and filter. Now I'm going to look up COI expires. And then I'm going to choose is after. After is after. For the specific date, I'm going to choose today. Today is a dynamic field, which means that every day that we look at this custom view, that today will be updated to reflect that literal day. So I'm going to choose after today. So this way, we're only looking at vendors who have their correct paperwork. Now I'm going to click apply, and any vendor who has out-of-date paperwork is now excluded from this view. I want to show you one final really cool way to customize your view. Back on that first tab of details, you have a group by section. This opens up a lot of doors for you when you're creating a custom view. So I'm going to choose one field to start off this group by, and I'm going to choose my specialties field. Now that I've grouped by one field, I have multiple options. I can either continue to group by to further organize my custom view, or I can change the view. First up, let's just see what I even did. I'm going to click apply, and now you'll see that all my vendors are organized by specialty. Now I can further organize by rating. And now when I click apply, we're looking at each of my vendors not only organized by their specialty, but also their rating. I can also go under view, which only is shown to you after you've grouped by at least one field. And I can change the view from list to Kanban. We're currently in list, which is a great view. It is summarizing all the information that I want, but I can choose to look at this as a Kanban view to look at this data in a visual way. If I choose Kanban and then click apply, now we're looking at each one of my specialties and each one of the vendors under those specialties as a card within their deck of specialty. Now as I scroll across, we're able to look around and see maybe I need some framing, maybe I need some more in engineering. And if anyone needs to be recategorized, here in this Kanban view, I can pick up and drag any of these vendors. So I can move a gold star over to XFAC if I need to. And there we go. And when you're ready to save them, you have two options. Back in this gear icon, we can either click Save or Save As. Save will override your current view, whereas Save As will create a new view. I'm going to choose Save As, and I'm going to name this my trade by rating view, and then click OK to go ahead and save that view. And then if I ever make updates to this one particular view, I can choose to save instead, and then that will override the current view. Once you've made your view, you are also able to convert to an organization view if you want to share this out with other people in your organization. Otherwise, it'll stay in your personal views. Personal and organization views are able to be seen in the view dropdown at the top left of your directory. And under here, you can see those organized by personal or organizational views. And if you would like to set one as your default view, simply hover over the name and click the star to create that custom view as a default. If you have any other questions about vendors or generating more reports, please visit our help desk to look at all of our articles and videos there. Plus, never hesitate to reach out to your customer success manager or to email us. support@jobtread.com. Thank you.